r/ask Reddit. What doesn't really annoy you but seems to annoy everyone else? Having to park somewhat far from wherever it is you're going. Most people I know drive in circles around the parking lot just to get a spot 10 feet closer than the one that's wide open. Do people hate walking that much? For real, I always park where I can easily get a spot and carry on with my tasks at hand. In the time it takes to find a closer spot, we could have walked to wherever it is we are going. The most ridiculous display of this is in the gym parking lot. Why are they obsessed with parking as close as possible to the door when they are going to go in and work out? Same comment getting posted twice. Mistakes like that happen sometimes. Karma farm here we come. Wait. Here, have my upvote. Same comment getting posted twice. Mistakes like that happen sometimes. Karma farm here we come. Here, have my upvote. Little fads like dabbing or Gangnam Style. Relax, you don't have to be uptight, just let other people have their fun. Getting upset at fads is like a fad of the fads. Just like everyone getting pissy about fidget spinners. They don't harm anyone. Edit. Okay. Stupid people with fidget spinners harm themselves and others. And I'm certain they're annoying in classrooms, especially as a teacher. When my students call me miss, it makes other female teachers angry, but to me it's just a term of respect when they are trying to get my attention. Plot twist, OP is male. Plot twist 2, OP is actually a university. The word moist, it reminds me of cake. The thing that bothers me is that so many people insist that is a thing. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. People say that everyone thinks moist is gross, and repeats that, and honestly we probably like to repeat it because it carries safe, light, sexual overtones. Like how breast cancer awareness is the most popular awareness campaign, probably because it uses the word for boobs. A little bit of chaos in my classroom. I teach 4th grade and my classroom is sometimes just ridiculously loud and noisy, but it is all part of the process. During an observation, my assistant principal was stunned and told me during our post-conference it's crazy that everybody is talking, but they're all talking about what's going on. I think too many teachers want their students to be quiet and still all the time. I hate chaos in the classroom because it's inevitable for me, but I teach ESL in China to kids, so that's a very different situation. We have also the parents monitoring the classes through one-way mirrors in the halls connected to the classrooms, as well as through TV cameras. I've been interrupted during class by my classroom assistants because the parents don't think I'm making their kids happy enough as I'm trying to discipline their heinously noisy and disrespectful brood. I regularly get punched, slapped, kicked, what have you by the kids. Apparently this is common for ESL in China. Then again, as far as the company I work for is concerned, I'm more of a marketing tool. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it can be rewarding and fun. I have some great kids and they're a joy to teach. But when it's a very real possibility that I'll get kicked in the nuts if I appropriately discipline the wrong kid, sorta colors the experience. Edit. Generally the punching and slapping isn't hard, and they're kids so it doesn't hurt. It's usually playful, but whatever. Update. These are obviously more extreme examples, but the kids are often hectic little bastards. In regard to the parents, sometimes they're great and want me to discipline the kids in a deserving fashion, but it's pretty inconsistent. And only one kid deliberately kicked me in the nards. Whoa, that totally makes me not want to ever teach ESL. Seriously, that situation sounds terrible. Was China the one place you really wanted to go? Mispronouncing my name. Some people get really annoyed if you mispronounce their name. It annoys me when people get annoyed by this. It always comes across to me as a bit entitled. Edit. I don't mean the people that just get weary of it or annoyed when it's someone who can't be bothered to remember. I mean the people who have their name pronounced incorrectly by a total stranger and get super huffy about it off the bat. It's annoying when the person mispronouncing T had been corrected before, yet continues to mispronounce it. I have this problem. I gave up correcting people on it at the age of 10. But it still shits me when people are corrected but ignored it. People who go out in public in PJ bottoms. Everyone seems to bitch about this. But when I see someone in thigh PJs with a blanket wrapped around them, I just get jealous because I want to go home to bed. Who bitches about that? I recently went to the store in slippers and PJs. IDGAF. I'm not trying to impress a mother ducker in the snack aisle. In the UK, all the big supermarkets are trying to discourage people shopping in pajamas. Frozen the movie. I had The Lion King as a kid. I know what obsession is. That was me 20 years ago. Then again, I don't have kids, so I don't have to hear Let It Go 20 times a day. The only thing that truly bothers me about the fanfare over Frozen is that I believe Tangled is a far superior movie and, while successful, generated far less enthusiasm. Not to mention Princess and the Frog, again a much better Disney film but basically ended their traditional animation department. I wish Tangled was more popular. I love that movie. Rain. I fucking love it. And thunderstorms are relaxing. Whenever it rains I will walk outside and stand in it for a while. I don't know why, it's just kinda something I do. Toilet seat up or down discussions. Don't people close the lid all the way down when they're done? I removed the seat and the lid. I like feeling of cold, slightly damp ceramic. Every day we stray further from God's light. When orders get messed up at restaurants, we're human and mistakes happen. I don't get pissy with the staff. I'll live and be just fine. My dad does this all the time. The thing is, he's the kind of person to blow everything out of proportion. So we'll get a wrong order and he immediately comes out with, well, we're not gonna be here again anytime soon. Why the duck? He got you your meal in the end and it tastes good. What the hell is the problem? People who go to see DJs perform instead of live musicians. Like, who the duck cares? People are there for the atmosphere music, not to watch the intricate fingering from half a mile back. The people who get annoyed at that are people who've never seen a good DJ live. They can make a crowd go wild and the atmosphere is amazing. They promote other DJs by using their songs in the mix so you can discover new talent. And they sometimes play some unreleased tracks in their sets. Also, the people who look down on it because anyone can do it should try it for themselves and see if they can get a crowd going and make a quality mix. When I first saw a DJ live I didn't know what to expect and my friends just dragged me into it. Now I go to see them often as they are the most fun type of act to see live. It's just constant dancing and fun. You don't get that often with over live acts. I don't like DJs because I don't like the style of music they play. Can other people enjoy them? No. Duck yet. Go wild. Do drugs till you hear colors. Smell sound. Whatever. I'm not your dad. Admitting I am wrong. Some people just don't have it in them to accept it. I think part of this is because it seems to be a thing now to disgrace and humiliate someone for being wrong or to gloat endlessly over them because you were right. It makes people equate being wrong with being a total imbecile, so naturally they are less likely to admit error. Honestly, it's not healthy on either side. What other women wear? What anyone wears. For that matter, I can understand having to match your outfits to the event. But if it's a casual thing, expect me to wear my casual clothes. And yes, that includes the scarf my family hates so much. It's soft and reminds me of good times. The same goes for everyone else. Just wear what you'd like and not worry about anyone else. Edit. Not the best picture of the scarf. And not one with me in it. But it's the only one I could find. https imga.com gallery 6hf. It's been like 5 years and I'm still not sick of Call Me Maybe. This is crazy. Agreed. She just sounds so happy when she's singing. Almost like she can't stop smiling and it affects the way her voice sounds. Women applying makeup on trains. I don't get why that bothers anyone. It seems like the sort of thing you'd really have to focus on in order for it to annoy you. I'm one of those women. And I think it's so silly when people get mad about this. I'm minding my own damn business. You do the same. Fidget spinners. Yes, they are dumb, but who cares? Facebook is dumb too. Funeral processions holding up traffic. I don't get annoyed. I get sad. Like, someone just died and their whole family is about to say goodbye to them for the last time. Have some freaking sympathy. You can wait 5 minutes. I'm like that with ambulances as well. When I see them with their lights on or get held up in traffic by one, I don't get annoyed. I just feel bad that there's someone nearby who actually needs one. People get annoyed by ambulances. Here in Germany, people get annoyed at the people that don't move over fast well enough. Losing in online games. To me it's like no shit, it's inevitable you lose sometimes, but still people tilt and become so toxic. I hate that MLG has become a thing because I'm not allowed to play certain games for fun anymore since I'm not hyper competitive and just want to have a good time. What gets me is most people either don't care about winning so much they'll regularly throw the game because lol it's just a game, or they get angry if you so much as make a joke about ducking up. Where are the people who try but don't mind if they lose? People announcing my religion because of my username. That's okay, I don't mind. But some people really ducking hate Jesus. I'm atheist, but Jesus is great. He's basically the perfect role model. He never discriminated against anyone. Everyone should be more like Jesus. That and he ducking stood up for what he believed in. He cared for thousands of people in his proselytizing, pushed back the stigma of little kids not being worth important people's time, and flipped over all the tables of merchants who were trying to profit off of something sacred. He was also willing to spend time with lepers, who were hated and secluded because modern medicine couldn't even saved anyone who caught it. I'm not religious either, but it's no issue trying to understand why people thought he was God. I genuinely don't care how toilet paper gets put on the roll. Roll over, roll under, I don't care at all. I put it on the counter instead of the holder. Easier access for me. That pisses the over and under people off so bad. Yes, that would piss me off considerably. The counter is outside the bathroom stall in most public restrooms. Waiting in lines. On St. Pat's Day we went to a bar and waited in line for maybe 20 minutes. Not even. My friends were complaining the whole time about the long wait. I've waited in line for hours before and I'm never bothered by it. It's called queuing and it's a true art form. In this violent messed up world it's an oasis of orderliness in a universe of chaos. A good queue makes everything better. I had to tut at some ruffians who were trying to cut the queue for getting on the bus just the other day. I had to tut at them, say excuse me, there's a queue. I've never felt more alive. You are now moderator of r/British problems. People get incredibly annoyed when people don't agree with their opinion. Then they just argue and criticize. Dude, I don't care how old you were when you lost your virginity. I have a different favorite Disney movie, but that's okay. And if you love something I hate, I'm not going to give you a hard time about it. Live and let live. Also, people get annoyed with drunks. A bunch are jerks. Yep, but they're hilarious and fascinating to watch. Edit. I don't approve of alcoholism and my dad actually tore apart our family because of it. But sometimes you have to laugh at the stupid stuff they say and do. Like the guy who was so excited that he started high-fiving everyone because it was Wednesday, or the guy in the corner hitting on a poster with a woman on it, or the lady who suddenly gets scared of the color yellow. I can both laugh and disapprove. I have a co-worker who's super into Disney. At first I kind of let her talk about it because I was new and it was easy. After a few months I felt comfortable enough to tell her that I don't really like Disney and she lost her shit. Like by not watching Disney movies I was criticizing her? She's a nightmare. I really like Disney, but I've discovered that I'm a casual fake fan compared to some people like your coworker. I've worked at Disney World before and have been made fun of by coworkers for stupid reasons. Like not knowing every single parade that's ever existed in every park, or for not being obsessed with Disney princesses, or for not watching Disney vloggers. I try to stay away from extreme fans. The Kardashians. I don't give a duck about them other than Kylie and Kendall being attractive. People love to shit on them for being talentless and want nothing more than for them to be irrelevant when they themselves are making them more relevant. It's a pretty good point. Yahoo loves posting stories about them and the comment section is full of people who clicked on the article just to shit on Yahoo for posting it, therefore giving them ad revenue. It's hilarious. Nickelback. I honestly have never got why exactly Nickelback was the butt of all jokes. It seems like it came out of nowhere with people saying they're the Nickelback of, or what's the Nickelback of ? I'm more into metal, but I think Nickelback is not terrible but just okay. Not too sure where the band's reputation went wrong. I'm only 29, so I clearly remember when they first got big. I was like oh, and continued with my metal listening. I'm still oblivious to this day. Driving. A ton of my friends hate driving for long distances, but I never mind. I enjoy being able to listen to music for hours on end while passing by beautiful scenery. Babies crying on planes. The babies can't help it, so it doesn't bother me. But your young kid kicking my seat? Yes, you bet that annoys me and that I'll let you know about it. Well, I've heard babies crying. And I've also heard babies crying. Some babies get to a sort of crying that seems to grate against your brain. Fireflies, the song. That song's pretty old at this point. Do people really still get annoyed by it? You would not believe your eyes. Learner drivers, you were one too, and you were probably just as scared as they are. Calm down, and have a little sympathy. Fat overweight people wearing tight pants or leggings, socks and sandals. If someone's outfit does not harm anyone or ruin anything, like spiky accessories in a crowded environment or something really dirty, then why I should be annoyed. Because people like being mean. I'm not going to say I'm never mean. I'm not going to say I never criticize, but I keep that shit to myself. It's a hurtful, unhelpful opinion to have, and people aren't cooler or funnier for making those jokes. I've been made fun of for what I wear and I'm skinny. Making fun of fat people for wearing tight clothing is just cruel, and it's because those people hate fat people. Traffic jams. It's happened. Nothing you can do about it, so I'll let it annoy you. Because I'm impatient and it makes no sense. People's reactions to me hanging out with young kids. Here it seems that every male is annoyed about being hazed, shamed, and borderline arrested for having any contact with small children in public. I love to take my niece and nephew, 3 and 5, respectively, out to movies, ice cream, the park, whatever. Usually this goes unnoticed, but if I get feedback it's always positive, usually about what a great dad I am. On Reddit it seems like most men don't even want to acknowledge their younger relations or their friends, for fear of immediately being put on a list of sex offenders. When I take my friend's 2-year-old daughter out to the park or something, every female is like grinning at me ear to ear. I have never noticed it with young girls. Where I have noticed it is when I worked for an at-risk youth program and some girls aged 10-14 told the therapists they had crushes on me and then I was not allowed to be alone with them. But even then I understood their reasoning, because if they did ever lie about something it would be their word versus just mine, and they wanted to keep me protected from that. Autotune, of course. A natural voice is better if possible, but I will rather hear autotune if your voice singing is terrible. Autotune is a weird one. If the artist is using it to attain a certain sound or enhance a vocal trick, I like it. If the artist is using it as a crutch because they cannot sing, then maybe, just maybe, they should find another profession that doesn't require singing. Yep, like T-Pain can sing, but he likes autotune. However, when you not only have a terrible singing voice, but also have the purple drank codeine voice, it's just cheap. There are quite a few songs where people say, oh, this rapper is dope, but they say that they love the beat the most, so they actually think the instrumental is dope and the rapper is interchangeable, unless the rapper mixed and mastered it. People complaining about the same Ask Reddit questions getting posted. Yes, the questions are the same, but they will often get fresh, new answers. People mowing the lawn on Sundays or national holidays. Why the duck would I care about that? I hate that kind of reactionary cultural bullshit. People get mad about this? Why on earth? My girlfriend was mowing the lawn one national holiday, don't remember which, and this beachy neighbor lady came to the fence and beachly said, I just wanted to see who was mowing the lawn on insert holiday. Beach. When my husband asks for a bite of my food or just eats a bite off of my plate, people go ducking nuts over that, but I don't think it's a big deal at all. He's my spouse, not some stranger that wandered over. Jar Jar. SJW stuff. I do consider myself liberal, but I'm tired of people getting so shocked that someone said something online that was incentive and it gives you some sort of right to destroy their lives. I think the issues they are screaming about are things we should be having a discussion on. But calm the F down and let's discuss it, not shame people for saying something. Conversely, annoyance and even outright rage at the existence of social justice. You wanna push for more vegan options in the university cafeteria? Cool. Trying to add more gender-neutral bathrooms in government buildings? Go for it. Seriously, pretty much none of the so-called SJW stuff affects me, and if it does it's not a very big or bothersome impact. Even if I think something is kind of silly, like wacky pronouns, I just shrug and go about my day. But some people are friggin' obsessed with trying to fight against anything they deem SJW. Biting ice cream. Chewing ice cubes. My sister has sensitive teeth and always looks at me crazy when I bite cold stuff. But I pity her since she can't enjoy the more flavorful fun way of eating cold things. Edit. Especially those tiny, softer ice cubes from Sonic. Seeing hearing children in a restaurant or a public place in general. My whole life I've heard various forms of beaching if someone's toddler cries makes hyper noises, but I can't give a reason as to why it hasn't bothered me most times, excluding true shrieking or extreme situations. I think it's because I expect children to act like children and I've always considered them part of the general public. There are times when it is not appropriate to bring children to public places where they will disturb others, like the theater if the film is marketed away from children or in a nicer restaurant. I'm not saying other people are a-holes for being annoyed by children, but I go about my business expecting a few parents to take their kids to an Applebee's for a treat or find themselves in a situation whereupon they need to fly with their children. Other things annoy me and I totally get that children in public is a peeve some people have. I'm not talking about bad parenting to be clear. I just remember arguing with a rando because he insisted children shouldn't be in public until they could behave appropriately in public. I just don't get the circular reasoning. I don't get why people are so unhappy with the existence of trans people. Like, if you don't like them, don't have sex with them, otherwise their genitals aren't really affecting you. People who complain. Venting can really help get you through problems and, in my experience, it's a great way to bond with people. Cracking of knuckles, necks, knees or backs. I love the sound of it, but it seems to annoy everyone else. Years going by. I know I'm still young so maybe it will change as I get older, but I have friends my age who I say we are closer to 2030 than to 2000 to them and they go berserk. I feel like I'm the only one who has a real concept of time anymore. It's 2017. And I'm 3 years it will be 2020. I understand your past was nice, and everyone is stuck in the mid to late 2000s but for God's sakes live with the fact that years keep on going by. Activism. I understand that the people blocking the roads are annoying, though I also understand that they do that because nobody wants to hear them in the first place. But why people are annoyed by those who don't block the streets? Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content bruh. It's free and that's a great price.